is Wyatt Burkowski. I'm a senior at Northwest Missouri State University.
My name's Ethan Dixon. I'm a junior at Northwest Missouri State University.
I'm Sarah Hartley, and I'm a junior at Northwest Missouri State University.
And I'm Logan McKeon, and I'm a junior here at Northwest Missouri State University.
Today we're going to talk to you about yellow foxtail and giant foxtail, which are summer annuals.
Woo!
My name is Ethan Dixon. I'm a junior agronomy student here at Northwest Missouri State University. And today I'm going to describe to you the characteristics of foxtails and how to identify them. So as you can see, this field has been infested with foxtails. They've been really competitive with the soybeans. And the way to tell a foxtail from another weed is a foxtail is a bunch type grass with a fibrous root system and a round stem. It has a linear leaf with a smooth margin and a compacted inflorescence.
So I'm Sarah Hartley. I'm also a junior here at Northwest, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about giant foxtail. So giant foxtail is what I have in my hand right here, and it's from the scientific family Poaceae, which is the grass family. Its scientific name is Ceteria faberi, and the main characters of giant foxtail is that it has short trichomes or hairs on the leaf, and then it has a drooping compacted panicle.
Besides the features already explained previously, some other things to look at in a giant foxtail is the hairy ligule that you'll see at the base of the leaf. What a ligule is, it's basically just a protectant that comes up to protect the plant from insects or other pests. It's an extension of the leaf. You also see these short, tiny hairs on the leaf and these strong parallel venation. You'll also notice that on this tightly compacted panicle, we see very long awns off each floret, which is a distinguishing feature when looking at foxtails.
Today I'm going to be talking to you about yellow foxtail. It is a family of Poaceae, which is the grass family. It is a fibrous root system. It has large hairy trichomes. It has long awns. It is a compacted panicle, and it is very similar, but also at the same time very different than a giant foxtail. As you can tell with the panicle here, it's not drooping like giant foxtail, and the plant itself is actually smaller in stature than the giant foxtail that we just showed you. The scientific name is Ceteria pumila, and it is a bunch grass. As you can tell right here, it is all bunched together and growing out of one growing point. So.
One more thing we forgot to mention about yellow foxtail that kind of distinguishes it from giant is that it has very long hairs, as you can see here at the base of the leaf. Giant foxtail does not have these hairs. It also has a hairy ligule there too. But the important thing is to look for these giant long hairs at the base of the leaf. So we know what yellow foxtail is, we know what giant foxtail is, we know exactly what to look for in them, we know about the growth habit and stuff. So the big million-dollar question is, how do I control this stuff? It is a very troublesome weed, being that it's a summer annual, it's very competitive, it's going to use a lot of nutrients and a lot of water that your crops are going to need throughout the growing season. So there are several ways that you can control them in the field. Obviously there's chemical controls, and there's different chemical controls based on whatever kind of crop you're planting. So there's, if you're doing like a turf situation, say in your pasture, I recommend Dimension 2EW. The active ingredient in that is dithiopyre. It's a Corteva product. It's great for lawns, but make sure you're using it on established grass. If it's going to be on any type of grass that's going to be younger, it could be fatal for it. I also found Finale. That's a Bayer product. The active ingredient is glufosinate. It's a non-selective, so don't use it on your crop ground. Don't use it on your pasture either. This would be good for something, say if you had it growing up in a gravel or a farm place, it would be a good product to use. Then there's also Pendulum. And Pendulum is from Aqua Crop, and it's also good for turf because it's very highly selective. You could use it on a goose grass, on your Bermuda grass, something like that, as well as the foxtails. In our soybean field here, we have a completely different approach than what we were using before. Some products I would recommend using would be like Select 2EC. That's a clethophodium product. There's also Assure 2 and Assure Original. Post Plus, obviously your glyphosate, your Roundups. Big thing with Roundups is that you can't hardly trust them anymore for anything that's not a grass, so just be careful when you're using your glyphosates. You could also use Liberty as long as you're using an effective product that's able to take Liberty. And Accent's also good too. And a lot of those herbicides work well on corn, being that you planted a product that's going to be sustainable for that herbicide. But some products I would recommend using would be like Basis, Celebrity Plus. You could use an atrazine. Don't use your atrazine on your soybeans. And then Beacon too. So those are all some good herbicides. Also, there's also controls that aren't chemical. You could do mowing. So if you were in a turf situation, I would recommend definitely keeping your soils fertile. You know, one thing about a weed like yellow foxtail and giant foxtail is that they're very good at finding those nutrients and other things when there's no plants there. So definitely stay ahead of the game. Keep an established lawn or an established turf. You could also do tillage, which it's kind of a bad word in some areas, but say if you wanted to do a cultivating or something like that. But generally, since it's a warm season grass, a lot of times your canopy, your fall canopy, should be enough to control that. So without that, I think we're ready for the conclusion. So thanks everybody for watching. This has been the Northwest Missouri State University Weed Science and Ecology class, talking to you about giant foxtail and yellow foxtail.